Good afternoon, everybody. This is Amrita from The Print, and I'm here to answer your questions live on the severe shortage of IS officers across India, as well as the states and mostly the central government. Now, as we know that the shortage of IS officers is nothing new. At present, India faces a 22% shortage of its IS. But unfortunately, the brunt of this shortage is borne mostly by the central government. The central government is facing 56% of the shortage, which effectively means that the central government doesn't have a cadre of its own, and states are sending only 34% of their IS to the states. Now, there are a host of reasons for that. Some of them are political, of course. The states which have a political, a separate dispensation, they do not always send a number of IS officers to the center. And then we have other reasons like, poor recruitment in the 90s and in the early 2000s. Then we have, a lot of DPCs, that departmental promotion committees, not being carried out by the states. As a result, a lot of promotion of state bureaucrats do not happen to the IS. That is also one of the reasons. So the worst performers in this case, I would say, are, as per the data available with the DOPT, are West Bengal, we have Uttarakhand, we have some other states which are doing, which are very poor in sending the bureaucrats, the IS especially, to the center. But we have some good performers as well, like Himachal and Sikkim. So here we are ready to take your questions live. And the first question Umar asks is a shortage of IS officers due to lack of planning by the center? To a certain extent, yes, that's true, because if you look at the figures in the late 90s and in the early 2000s, the recruitment of IS has been abysmally poor. In the sense, in the late 90s, they were just like, the IS recruitment dropped to 50, 55, something like that, And even in the early 2000s, numbers were really poor. So as a result, the shortage was created over a period of time. So yes, definitely we can say that at that time, the government did not have the far-sightedness to realize that if they continue with this kind of poor recruitment, what would effectively, what would the kind of shortage be created in the in the future. So that is, of course, one of the reason is a lack of planning by the central government. Okay. Next questions we have from Nikhil is, the IS officers have become merely babus and facts show that their education qualification doesn't match with what they handle. Government is not recruiting them but hiring consultants. Is this created shortage a reason for policy paralysis of Modi government schemes? Well, I would not like to single out Modi government here. Policy paralysis, yes, definitely a reason of the poor shortage of IS officers, because they occupy key decision-making positions in the government. So when there is a 22% shortage and when states are sending just 34% of the total number of IS officers of what it should be sending, policy, there has to be some kind of policy paralysis. So yes, that is the reason, definitely. We have another questions from Lalit Sharma. If there is shortage, why can't just increase intake via lateral, direct or promotion route? The cadre management argument is bogus. Okay, so as you would have read, Lalit, that there is some kind of effort going on to bring in officers, to fill up this position through lateral entry. Now, lateral entry it wouldn't really solve the problem, because, as per the latest advertisement, it's just 10 positions and the shortage is like over hundreds. So it won't really help. Promotion, yes, it's a big factor that can help decrease the shortage, that can bring it down. But the problem with promotions is, number one, states do not carry out the DPCs, that is to promote their state bureaucrats to the IAS. And secondly, another problem with promotion is a lot of officers in the states who are eventually promoted to the IAS, they they do not want to come to the center because they have very few number of years left in their respective service. So, and they have spent practically almost all their career in a particular state. So they do not want to come to the center. That is a very crucial reason. So direct recruitments, we are at the highest right now. Never in the history has been 180 IAs being recruited every year via the UPSC. If this is increased further, then there would actually be a problem with the cadre management, because after a point of time we'll have excess IAS officers because there are just limited positions at the top. So if we increase it beyond 180, then the cadre management will be messed up, because we do not have so many positions to fit in all the IAS officers eventually. So it won't be a problem now definitely, but over the years this will turn out to be a problem. One more question we have from Fatima. Will lateral entry be able to solve the crisis? Will the existing IAS lobby allow it? That's a very important question. Lateral entry in the immediate future will not help, because we have the government has advertised limited positions for lateral entry, as I just said. But yes, of course, the IAS lobby, I mean, the government has announced the scheme. We do not know the IAS lobby will exactly allow it or no, but as of now there is not much movement in that. However, yes, once the lateral entry things come, it becomes a regular practice, then it can to a certain extent solve the problem, but not majorly, as I assume, because there are many positions of bureaucracy, and the kind of lateral entrants that who are interested in government jobs are far and few. From Anant. When direct recruitment, promotion from state services, lateral entry and external consultants cannot overcome this shortage of officers, can we attribute this as a failure of DOPT? We can't really say that, because this has happened, this shortage has happened over a period of time. We cannot blame a particular dispensation or a particular bureaucrat for this. It has been the lack of far-sightedness during a certain period of time by the government, and over the years this shortage has been created. So we can't really say that the DOPT is to blame here, because over the years the DOPT is trying to kind of that's the reason possibly that the government has increased the number of IAS recruitment at present. So the government is doing its bit, but this is something that cannot be negated in just a couple of years. It will take, if the current rate of recruitment goes by, and if we look at the current number of retirements every year, there's just a limited number of IAS which is getting added every year. So that will take a long time to kind of do it. Lateral entry can be a solution, provided there is a drastic number of lateral entry that takes place. Okay, we have the last question here from Kunal. Do the large number of court cases by state services officers a factor behind this shortage? Definitely yes, because of this legal tangles, a lot of promotion doesn't happen, and it takes a lot of time to do these promotions. Because when a case is in the court, the recruitment, the promotion effectively is stopped. So yes, because of this legal entanglements, a lot of times the promotions are delayed. But the government again is trying to resolve in the last 3-4 years. In terms of in the state of Karnataka, for example, a lot of promotions have happened recently. So yeah, one of the most effective way I would say to reduce the vacancies instantly is for the states to carry out their DPCs and promote the officers immediately. That way there will be lesser number of shortage in the states, and states will be more willing to send officers to the states, to the centers, sorry. Okay, so that was Amrita for the print. Thank you for this conversation. See you again tomorrow.